The Massachusetts Broadcasters Station of the Year. This is Western Mass News at 6 p.m.
Coming up on this Friday, no winner just yet. Votes, though, continue to be counted in the race for president, and we break down where things stand right now.
For the second time in the COVID-19 pandemic, MGM Springfield is laying employees off. I'm Audrey Russo, and coming up, I'll tell you how many workers will be affected.
And record-breaking warm temperatures today with more possible over the weekend. I'll have the details in my first warning forecast.
Plus, we're getting answers on how local restaurants are adjusting their game plans ahead of tonight's 10 p.m. curfew.
Western Mass News is your election authority. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris Pisano. Ballot counting is expected to continue late into the night again. Right now, it looks like Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's gaining a lead in a few key states. That could push him over the magic number of 270. Sitting President Donald Trump, however, isn't going down without a fight. Our very own Jordyn joins us now live, breaking down the latest developments. Jordyn?
Yeah, it's a bit of an election week, Chris. The race is still too tight to call, but it looks like Joe Biden may be edging ahead in Georgia and Pennsylvania now. Let's take a look at our map. Either one of those would put him over the 270 needed to claim the 2020 election. This all according to the Associated Press. However, Biden's lead in both is so tight that it could trigger an automatic recount in both the states. Nevada, meantime, continues to move through at their own pace. There's still no clear indication of when they'll be done processing their ballots. The president's team has made it clear that if Biden pulls away with the lead, they will contest the results. The president saying in a statement today, quote, "We will pursue this process through every aspect of the law to guarantee the American people have confidence in our own government. I will never give up fighting for you and our nation." Meantime, the vote counts continue in key states, delayed by a record flood of mail-in ballots.
While some, including the president, continue to spew baseless claims of fraud, claims for which his team has not produced one iota of evidence, what we have seen here in Philadelphia is democracy, pure and simple.
Former Vice President Joe Biden is expected to speak later this evening. According to the Associated Press, both Georgia and Pennsylvania are almost done counting every single one of their ballots. As to when the race will be called, it's still anyone's guess. Former Vice President Joe Biden is expected to address the nation tonight. Make sure that you stick with Western Mass News, both on air and online, for the very latest on this contentious race.
Jordyn, thank you for that live report. And now at 6, 250 MGM Springfield employees are now being either laid off or having their hours cut. Now this, as Governor Charlie Baker's executive order goes into effect, closing the casino each night now going forward at 9:30. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live in Springfield with more. Audrey.
The president of MGM Springfield is blaming the uncertain futures of his employees on the indefinite nature of the governor's executive order. And I'm told that some of the 250 affected employees, this isn't their first time being laid off. Now, do you live in the Bronx and you've just come up here to visit?
Yes, we do.
Debbie Corbett lives in the Bronx and frequently visits MGM Springfield. Making her visits difficult, the closure of the casino's hotel due to COVID-19.
We would like to stay over because it is a drive.
Under Governor Baker's recent executive order, the casino must close its doors by 9:30 every night. The Tap Sports Bar is also closed until further notice. 250 employees have either been laid off or had hours reduced, according to Chris Kelly, MGM Springfield's president. They will be able to keep their health care through the year's end. Western Mass News spoke with Frank Rossi, president of Teamsters Local 404, representing hotel workers at the casino. He tells us under their collective bargaining agreement, laid-off employees will be placed on a recall list, saying, quote, "They'll be recalled by order of their seniority." Rossi says this is the second time some of the union's employees have been laid off. When the casino was closed back in spring, nearly 2,000 workers were laid off. 800 were brought back on when the casino partially reopened in the summer. 1,000 workers were separated from the company in August. On the most recent wave of layoffs, Rossi told Western Mass News, quote, "I don't blame the employer, I blame the pandemic."
I think that's the right thing to do because the holidays are coming, and I think it could get ugly.
Chris Kelly says that the affected employees will still have access to internal job postings, retraining, and they'll also have access to an emergency grant fund. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thank you for that live report. Our warm stretch of weather just broke November records, and I don't think anyone's complaining.
I know, I certainly am not. I don't think any of us are. For more on this unseasonable but welcome warm-up, let's turn things over to meteorologist Jana Brown. Hey, Jana.
Hey, guys. It's like an early holiday gift, I guess. We've got temperatures hitting 75 this afternoon in Springfield, which broke the old record of 73 set back in 2015. And it's not just today. We could break more records tomorrow, even into the early to mid part of next week. So the warm-up is going to linger for a little bit. Right now, we're down to about 60 degrees. Everything is dry and quiet out there tonight. Breeze is lightening up just a little bit, but we will keep a light breeze overnight. It's still cooling off a little quicker tonight, down to 60 through Northampton, Holyoke, and Springfield, and already seeing some 50s through Westfield, Cummington, North Adams. The breezes should continue, but again, staying around 5 to maybe 8 miles an hour through tomorrow morning. And with the clear sky that we're expected to keep through tomorrow morning, tonight should be a little bit cooler. The dew points are also lower tonight, too. So I think we're going to end up more in the 40s. Still a beautiful night to do some sky gazing. We've got Saturn and Jupiter very close in the southwestern sky tonight. You can actually view that right now. You have to wait till I'm finished, then you go out and view it. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s by tomorrow morning, but a fast warm-up is on the way. And by the afternoon, we're going to return to the lower and middle 70s with good sunshine and a light breeze. We'll take a look at how next week's going to play out in just a couple of minutes. Back to you.
Developing news now as Paul Shanley, a former priest from Newton who was convicted of raping a child in the 1980s, has died. Shanley had relocated to Ware back in 2017 after spending 12 years in prison. Ware police confirmed to Western Mass News that Shanley died but did not provide any further information.
A quick look at today's COVID-19 numbers released by the state, and for the first time since May 1st, the Department of Public Health reports more than 2,000 cases in one day. They say that number includes delayed data of 300 cases from a lab that normally reports less than 50. The state now reporting 162,736 cases. The state also reporting 21 new deaths due to COVID-19, so that brings our state's death toll total to 9,880. New state COVID-19 restrictions are in effect, and at 9:30 tonight, restaurants and other entertainment-type businesses like the MGM Casino, must close to on-site customers for the night.
Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis joins us live in East Longmeadow from a restaurant that usually closes at 11. Leon?
Jordyn, Chris, tonight at Villa Napolitana, dining customers will have to end their meals early. Now, the manager here says traffic usually picks up around 7:30. She also says that they go above and beyond when it comes to complying with CDC regulations. They have plexiglass all over the restaurant, but that late night foot traffic after 9:30 is something they heavily rely on to make money.
I feel like, the governor's doing whatever he has to do to keep everyone safe, but on the same hand, I think that, they're really not taking into consideration how much it's actually hurting businesses. And so, shutting us down at 9:30 really puts a big cut in our business.
Now, Villa Napolitana and other restaurants can do to-go orders after 9:30, but that does not include alcohol beverages to go after 9:30 per the governor's orders. Live in East Longmeadow, Leon Purvis, Western Mass News.
Leon, thank you for that live report. New information out of the State House today. The governor's administration weighing in on the new guidelines for putting children back in school. This as officials change the COVID-19 community risk maps qualifications for high risk, adding population now as a factor. The number of red towns dropping from 121 to just 16 this week. According to this new map, only the city of Springfield is now in the red in Western Mass.
We're asking districts to prioritize getting our kids back. We recognize there are some health and safety metrics that people have to follow, and that could, in theory, drop people down to hybrid or keep them in hybrid. But to the greatest extent possible, we want to get as many kids back in school as we can.
However, when it comes to some communities changing their learning plans, Commissioner Riley says DESE will respect any decisions that are made at the local level. And if they're concerned a district is deviating from state guidance, it'll be addressed on an individual basis.
In Northampton, police are investigating the vandalism to the exterior of the Resistance Center building on Conn Street. They tell Western Mass News the act consisted of several neo-Nazi symbols being affixed to the building in sticker form. They believe it occurred between November 4th and November 5th, officials identifying the group responsible as the Nationalist Social Club. Police say that they do believe this is a targeted crime at the activities and causes of the Resistance Center.